Hi guys, welcome back to story time. How are you guys doing? It's storming here. Well, it's not that bad. I'm looking out the window because it was thundering really bad earlier, but it kind of went away. But this is Florida. It's like in the map, it looked like it was gonna be a horrible storm. We had just one skinny branch fell, but that's about it. And I'm thankful because it looked really bad that it was coming this way, and my poor trees were going like this, and I have new trees that are growing healthy, and I said, oh no, they're gonna die. They're just gonna blow away or something. But luckily, they're okay. So, and I wanted to finish this before, like today. I'm gonna try to see if I can finish the book. But it's been raining and thundering, and I get scared being, using electronics while it's thundering because it thunders so close to us. It's never been this bad, but you have to be careful. So, I'm in the company of Maggie, who's asleep over here in her little bed. I got my grandkid, my oldest grandchild over there. And let's start with the book that we were reading, Bummer in the Summer. Let's see how this ends up to be. All right, we were going to start chapter 4, the L word. What could that be? I followed the ghost of Mr. Klotz as we swooped higher into the sky. Then we zoomed really fast away from the ocean. Where are you taking me now? I asked. You'll find out, the ghost of Mr. Klotz replied. Flying is so cool. I wish I could fly everywhere. We swooped down lower and I could see the roof of elementary school in the distance. That's my school. Wait, you're taking me to school? I asked. Yes, the ghost of Mr. Klotz replied, in more ways than one. We were getting closer to the school. The ghost of Mr. Klotz wasn't slowing down. It looked like we were going to crash into the wall of the school. Watch out, I shouted, putting my hands over my eyes. But we didn't crash. We flew right through the wall. It was the coolest thing ever. Being a temporary ghost was fun. The ghost of Mr. Klotz and I flew through the wall into the vomitorium. It used to be called the cafetorium, but then some first graders threw up in there and everybody started calling it the vomitorium. Oh my goodness. It was all decorated for Halloween with pictures of witches and pumpkins and bats and stuff. What you're looking down here for. The story's up there. There's a little asterisk that they they put the little thing and then you read it. So that's what I was reading. I said, what you looking down here for? Anywho, the whole gang was sitting below us eating lunch, including me, AJ in the past. Can they see or hear us? I asked the ghost of Mr. Klotz. No, he replied as he hovered over the table. Do you remember this day, AJ? Oh yeah, I replied. Halloween is my favorite holiday. Do you love it? The ghost of Mr. Klotz asked me. He said the L word. I didn't answer. I tried to never say the L word out loud. That's the first rule of being a kid. Wait a minute, I said. I thought you were the ghost of summers past. Halloween isn't in the summer, asked the ghost of Mr. Klotz. Oops, I really need to get a calendar. Below us, my friends were talking about Miss Mary, who was a student teacher and also happened to be Mr. Klotz's daughter. Miss Mary is scary, AJ in the past said. Oh, she looks like a vampire, said Neil. Maybe she really is a vampire, said AJ in the past. AJ in the past said. Did you ever think of that? She dresses in all black. She wears black makeup. She got a bed bat, Stop trying to scare Emily, Andrea told AJ in the past. I'm scared, said Emily. Miss Mary probably lives in a cave and sleeps hanging upside down from the ceiling, said AJ in the past. Then she goes out at night and bites people in the neck and drinks their blood. We've got to do something, Emily yelled. And then she went running out of the vomitorium. Everybody laughed except Andrea, who made a mean face at AJ in the past. Oh my goodness. Look at this. They're flying and they're seeing everybody saying all this stuff. And they're scared. The ghost of Mr. Claus turned to me. That wasn't very nice, AJ. The things you said that day weren't nice to Emily. And it wasn't nice what you said about my daughter either. I was just trying to be funny, I told him. Sometimes what's funny to you isn't funny to other people, the ghost of Mr. Claus told me. Sometimes what's funny to you hurts other people's feelings. What if I say I'm sorry, I asked. It's too late now, said the ghost of Mr. Claus. That happened a long time ago. Let's go. I followed the ghost of Mr. Claus as he flew through the wall again and out the school. You seem to have a lot of anger in you, AJ, the ghost of Mr. Claus said as we flew over the rooftops. It's not nice to be a hater. I'm not a hater, I told the ghost of Mr. Claus. I hate haters. Is that so? He replied, taking a piece of paper out of his pocket as he flew. I made a little list of things you've said you hate. Let me see. You said you hate school. You said you hate spiders. You hate reading out loud, tests, snot, ferrets, germs, being smart, putting on plays, board games, taking a bath, flowers, rain. Yeah, I guess I said I hate those things, I admitted. Getting hit by water balloons, the ghost of Mr. Claus continued. Coffee, dead fish, when a helicopter falls on your head, zombies, when the school gets attacked by monsters, toilet seats, when an alien spaceship lands in the middle of the playground, when an asteroid crashes into the earth and wipes out all life on our planet. Yeah, I said I hate that stuff too. Come to think of it, I admitted. Okay, so I know lots of things that you hate, the ghost of Mr. Claus said. Now, tell me some of the things that you love. He said the L word again. I don't L anything. Are you telling the truth, AJ? The ghost of Mr. Claus asked me. Of course I'm telling the truth. Look at him. He's reading the list and he's going, no, don't read my list. Anywho, if you're not telling the truth, the ghost of Mr. Claus said, that will make you a hater and a liar. Oh, I never told a lie in my life, I insisted. Oh no, said the ghost of Mr. Claus. He's speaking on him. Dream or something. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. You said there would be no ghost in this book. And here I am. So that was a lie. Hey, I didn't know you were going to show up, I shouted at him. I was really mad now. I'm innocent. I think you might have an anger management problem, AJ. The ghost of Mr. Claus told me. It would be good if you could appreciate some of the nice things in life. All the things that you love. He said that word again. I bet there's a lot of things that you love, AJ, said the ghost of Mr. Claus. The L word is for girls, I told him. Love is for everybody, AJ, he replied. Admit it. No. We were getting close to my house. It's time for you to go back home now, the ghost of Mr. Claus told me as we hover outside my window. As you mentioned, it's a school night. Well, he was been flying all night. He's not going to be able to go to school. Oh my gosh. Can we fly around some more? I asked, flying is awesome. Would you admit that you love flying, AJ? I didn't want to say the L word out loud. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. This is the worst thing that happened since TV turn-off week. But I couldn't say it. I wasn't going to say the L word. So I didn't say anything. Good night, AJ, said the ghost of Mr. Claus with a sigh. I climbed back through the window and got into bed. I turned around to say goodbye, but the ghost of Mr. Claus was already gone. I touched my skin. I wasn't a ghost anymore. I pulled the covers up over my head and went back to sleep. This was turning out to be a very weird night, and it was about to get weirder. Oh no. Chapter 5. 2 words that should never be in the same sentence. Like, no ice cream. That's more than 2 words. Never mind. I thought that was the end of it. Seeing the ghost of Mr. Claus had to be just a once-in-a-lifetime bad dream. Nothing like that could ever happen again. But then something else weird happened. The clock struck 11, and I thought I should really get myself a clock. Just as I was falling back asleep, I heard another spooky voice. AJ, AJ, AJ. When I opened my eyes, I saw that there were 2 ghosts floating over my bed. Ah, I screamed. The ghosts put their fingers up to their lips. Shh, they whispered. Help, I shouted. Security! There's somebody in my room. Shh, what are you doing in my bedroom? I asked. How did you get in here? Isn't this breaking and entering? The words read like crazy. The words are, read like crazy, were on the ghosts' shirts, and the ghosts were each carrying a big cardboard box. What? I looked at the ghosts more closely. They look a lot like Mr. Mackey, our reading specialist, and Mr. Ropey, our librarian. What? Miss Rupee or Ropey? Rupee. Miss Rupee? I called out. Mr. Mackey? Never heard of those people, said the ghost that looked like Miss Rupee. We are the ghosts of summer reading. What? Summer and reading are 2 words that should never be in the same sentence. That's the first rule of being a kid. I never heard of the ghost of summer reading, I said. It's a thing, said Mr. Mackey. Oh my gosh, she's never gonna get any sleep. Poor thing. Cold water. You two just look like Mr. Mackey and Miss Ruby from my school. We get that all the time, said the ghost of Mr. Mackey. We brought you some presents, AJ, said the ghost of Mr. Ruby. The phone is ringing. It's probably Walgreens. It's always calling for a prescription. So we ignore the phone. Hang on. Let me check. No, it's not Walgreens. I can't look at it. It's not Walgreens. There's some people calling to bother me and interrupt my story. Who I was doing so well. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I lost it. Oh, presents? I like getting presents. Maybe these weren't bad ghosts. I wonder what was in the boxes they were carrying. The ghost floated down and put them on the edge of my bed. Is there no video game sister in there? I asked excitedly. Is it a new skateboard? No, said Mr. Mackey. We brought you some books. Bet you didn't see that coming. Wait, books? I hate books. I don't even know what you're reading this one. Books are boring. Reading is boring. I don't like to read, I told the 2 ghosts. They let out an eerie, cackling laughed as they opened the boxes. Oh, you better take those books. Look at that. Those are big boxes. They got probably a lot of books. That's too bad, said Mr. Mackey, pulling out a thick book and handing it to me. Because this summer your assignment will be to read the complete works of William Shakespeare. Oh my gosh. No, I shouted, covering my ears. Not Shakespeare. He's the most boring of all. Miss Ruby pulled a fat book out of her box. This is the first book of a 20-book encyclopedia, she told me. You'll have to read all 20 books. No, I screamed at her. Not an encyclopedia. There was nothing I could do. In case you don't know what an encyclopedia is, because you guys are technologically now inclined, it was what we had to look information. We didn't have Google or internet, so we had books from in alphabetical order. Like, let's say you want to look ants. So you went to the letter A, and then you look ants, and they will have maybe a picture of 2 ants and a description of what an ant was. So that went from A to Z. So you can imagine all the information, like all the things in the world from A to Z. It was a lot. So to read an encyclopedia, that's like reading. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. It's too much, honestly. We used to look just. I have an encyclopedia that I bought for my kids when they were here. And I was going to get rid of it, like they'll donate it, because there's internet now. And then I'm having a hard time letting go of it, because it was how my kids went through school, through having this encyclopedia or going to the library and stuff like that we got our information. So it means a lot to me, because this was sold at the supermarket. And like every week they will come out with a book, and we were able to afford to buying an encyclopedia for our kids, because it was like a $3.99 per book, and it went like maybe, let's say, A to letter A, B, and C in one book. And it depends on how many words that the encyclopedia had or whatever. And so that's an encyclopedia for you guys that don't know what one might be. So here we go. You have to read a whole encyclopedia. There was nothing I could do. They were already pulling more books out of their boxes. Fiction, non-fiction, chapter books, non-chapter books, picture books, non-picture books. It was horrible. I wanted to run away to Antarctica and live with the penguins. Or penguins? Penguins, I don't know. And after that, just for fun, said Mr. Mackey, we're going to have you read a complete collection of all the books that have won the Newbery Medal. No, not the Newbery books, I screamed. I screamed like, ah! I know, I'm saying ice cream because I want some. I can't have any. Oh, by the way, said Mr. Mackey, there will be a test on all these books on the first day of school in September. No, 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 I shouted. I hate reading, I hate tests. Get out of my bedroom. Have a good summer reading, said Mr. Ruby. 2 of them broke another eerie cackling laugh as they flew through the window. I could hear them chanting, I before E except after C, or when sounding like A, as in neighbor, and way, I before E except after C. I laid my head back on the pillow. It was another terrible dream. No, not a dream. It was a nightmare. This was the worst thing to happen since National Poetry Month. When would I wake up from this awful night? I couldn't wait for morning to come. Somehow I managed to fall back asleep, but I was tossing and turning the whole time. Poor guy. Bad news and worse news, chapter 6. AJ, AJ. Oh no, not again. I have been sleeping peacefully when I heard more voices above my bed. I opened my eyes. This time there were 3 ghosts floating over me. Ah! It was Miss Daisy, Mr. Granite, and Mr. Cooper. All 3 teachers I've had at elementary school. I had never seen them together. Hello, AJ, said the ghost of Mr. Granite. Long time no see. Oh my goodness, Mr. Granite, I said. I thought you went back to your home planet. I did, he replied. I came back here because we have some important news for you. What is it? There was news and worse news, said the ghost of Miss Daisy. Which do you want to hear first? This has been a horrible night so far, I told them. Give me the bad news first. The ghost. Oh my gosh. He is not going to be able to go to school. You're going to have to repeat 3rd grade. Oh my gosh. That is bad. Oh no. He probably thinks he hates school. He doesn't want to repeat a grade. What? I have to do 3rd grade all over again? That's right, the ghost of Mr. Cooper told me. Why? What did I do? Let me see, said the ghost of Mr. Cooper. You talk in class. You shout things out without raising your hand. You don't turn in your homework. You come to school late. I couldn't argue with that. You're absent too many days. Continued the ghost of Mr. Granite. You go to the bathroom just to get out of class. You put a worm in Emily's sneaker during recess. You wrote "kick me" on a piece of paper and tape it to Andrea's back. Oh, I'm just glad he didn't mention the time I hypnotized Andrea and told her that her feet smell like rotten cabbage. You told Emily she has 6 toes on each foot. You started a war by shooting rubber bands at the girls' Barbie dolls. You hypnotized Andrea and told her that her feet smell like rotten cabbage. Oh, he did remember that. There's a picture. Oh my goodness. He's gonna get in trouble. This whole book having this nightmare. Should we continue, said the ghost of Mr. Cooper and Mr. Granite. No, I don't want to go through 3rd grade all over again. Are you ready for those worst news? Asked the ghost of Miss Daisy. No, I groaned. Before you go through 3rd grade all over again, she said, you have to go through 2nd grade all over again. No way. And 1st grade too. You're gonna have to start school all over again from the beginning. What? I shouted. No, that's not fair. Sorry, said the ghost of Mr. Granite. And oh, by the way, from now on, school is going to be all year round. No more summer vacation. What? Yes, the Board of Education changed the schedule, said the ghost of Mr. Cooper. They found that during summer vacation, kids forget much of what they learned during the school year. So the Board of Ed decided to get rid of summer vacation entirely. Ah! Okay, we're gonna stop here and I'll make another video starting with chapter 7. It says the ghost of now. It's a little thicker than I thought, but we'll get it done. Okay, so be kind to one another, be safe, wear your mask wherever you go, and wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.